Guys, it is not every day that a luxury British automotive manufacturer that's been around since 1935 decides to make radical changes to their logo, completely axe their line of cars, and announce that they'll only be making electronic vehicles moving forward. But this is exactly what Jaguar has done, and maybe I'm crazy, but if you look at the social media videos that they posted announcing this whole thing, it looks like they're teasing a brand new 2025 spring-summer apparel collection. Not only line of EVs, but take a look for yourself. I'm actually very curious to know what your opinion is on what we just watched, because for me, it's very artistic, it's very colorful. There's a lot of inclusion in that, and that's great. But what does that have to do with cars? There were no cars in that. I'm curious as to what the meeting between the executives at Jaguar and the marketers or whatever firm they hired to make this advertisement, what their whole idea was going into this. What were they trying to accomplish? What exactly is this product that's so unique, that's so different, that's not a copy of anything, that they needed to use such abstract marketing in order to share an announcement of something like this to the world? The funniest thing, though, is that there are a lot of people that have opinions and perspectives in response to this marketing, and it's hilarious. And this primarily started with the replies to the post that Jaguar made on X. So starting off with Elon Musk, he responds, "Do you sell cars?" And bear in mind that this post from Jaguar has 28k likes, 125,000 comments, so that's a lot. But this response from Elon Musk has 355,000 likes. Now, obviously, X is Elon Musk's platform, but at the same time, you got to think that this guy is going to immediately see this and think, oh, great, you know, as the CEO and owner of Tesla, it basically means that they're getting more competition. So you got to imagine that if there's any way that he can throw a dig in there, he's going to do that. But at the same time, I'm sure that he's very curious about what his new competition might look like. And then the next biggest response came from Andrew Tate, who I know a lot of people don't like, but it seems like he's going to get exonerated at some point very soon. So we're not going to be able to get rid of him. So the next biggest response to this was, he goes, "This is... I have 76 cars, I do not own a Jag, and now I never will." And this got 104,000 likes, so a lot of people responded to that as well. But everyone's individual responses, which are primarily negative to Jaguar's announcement video, is kind of somewhat forming into a singular outrage that's become something even bigger than just this idea of the fact that they're making a new electronic vehicle. And there are some people that are posting some really strong opinions in opposition to this, even though Jaguar hasn't actually released anything yet. And it's funny because other companies are also memeing this too, and this is really well summarized in this Forbes article. Tesla and ex-CEO Elon Musk pointed out the lack of vehicles in Jaguar's ad in a post on X asking, "Do you sell cars?" Musk's post was like more than 164,000 times at that point, more than the 9,000 likes the Jaguar ad garnered, and was viewed nearly 3 million times. Jaguar's advertisement garnered 62,000 replies on X, many critical, with one of the top replies stating the ad must be surely a joke, and another urging customers to boycott the company. Nigel Farage, a British member of Parliament and leader of the right-wing Reform UK party, posted a video to X claiming Jaguar will go bust and compared the ad to another Bud Light movement, referencing last year's boycotts against the beer brand following its brief marketing partnership with transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney. It's funny because obviously Jaguar is a British car manufacturer, so people here in the UK specifically have, you know, their own qualms to pick with the company. But Nigel Farage, like, focus on politics, but I'm very curious to see what his opinion is on all of this, because apparently this got a lot of attention.
What is it with the modern advertising industry and big corporate companies? Think Jaguar. Think of the E-Type. Think of the powerful logo on the front of the car of Inspector Morse, of a really great British brand. Well, okay.
No idea who that guy is.
Now be owned by the Indians. But have a look at what the modern advertising industry have done. This is the new logo.
Oh, no.
I don't know what it stands for.
Oh, no.
And the advert showing some sort of almost non-human figures walking through a door without even showing cars. I'm not quite sure what they're saying or what they want to do. Strikes me as being another Bud Light moment. I predict Jaguar will now go bust. And do you know what? they deserve to.
Well, apparently Jaguar is going to go bust or bankrupt. I'm assuming that's what he means. But I think that's a very bold statement or prediction, but we'll just have to see how that goes. But this is where it gets funny. Several companies also posted faux rebrands with deliberately poor graphic design to mock Jaguar, including another car company, Lucid Motors, as well as gaming company Razer and British eyewear retailer Specsavers. Right, we got to see this. So this is Lucid Motors. Copy nothing, compromise nothing. And there's a simple logo idea, I guess, there. And then this is Razer. So I actually have a Razer mouse here. So they're basically simplifying their logo to just Razer now from the original. And then there's here, Specsavers is now just Specsavers with the writing. Everyone's simplifying their logos down now. So this is my favorite part. The comments and responses from people across Jaguar social media is hilarious. This is something that you need to see. So this is their original post on their Instagram. You can see they deleted like everything that was on their Instagram before, and then they posted this video and a couple other images of the car that we'll take a look at in a second. So the number one comment is literally just shit button, and everyone's just like that, and that's literally put it at the top. And then general public, please make good, reliable cars. Jaguar, what if we gave them Teletubbies instead? Another one, an agency somewhere is laughing at how much they charge them for this. I thought Jaguar made cars, not condoms. This must be an April Fool's joke in November. And then the YouTube comments, we didn't forget about them. This isn't an ad, it's Jaguar's funeral. Jaguar pronouns are was, were. The only thing brave about this ad is to leave the comment section on. That's definitely true. You're selling cars to rich people, not the Teletubbies. Are you sure this will help us sell more cars? Cars? And then the next one, 102 years old company, destroyed in 30 seconds. This will go down as one of the worst marketing decisions in history. All right, and the last one. I guess Jaguar identifies as bankrupt. I think there's a lot of reasons why people are mad at Jaguar. I think the biggest reason is the fact that, you know, imagine you purchased a Jaguar and it is a classic car. The brand has been around for 100 years. It is synonymous with the whole air of British luxury and whatnot. And now they're moving in a completely different direction. And maybe you own a collection of Jaguar cars or just a Jaguar car, or maybe you aspire to buy a Jaguar car in the future. And the brand, the company is no longer what you've known it to be, you know, what you valued it as. And so just imagine people that have, you know, heritage Jaguar cars that are now thinking that the value of the car that they own has now plummeted. So I can understand that people will be pretty mad about that. But at the same time, you need to consider that the CEO of Jaguar has made these tough decisions in terms of the direction of the company and its branding and everything. And he probably hasn't taken these decisions lightly. And there's got to be a bunch of factors that have caused him to make these decisions. So the first being the fact that apparently in Jaguar's current lineup of cars that they're expected to completely discontinue by 2026, they're not profitable. Like, Jaguar makes some pretty decent cars, but they're not really making money on them. Essentially, the business is afloat, but it's not exactly thriving in this market. And then when you really think about it, like electric cars, that's the new opportunity. Apparently in 2023, electronic vehicles made up 13% of total car sales, and that number is projected to rise to 18% in 2025. So EV is the new opportunity that they're essentially trying to take advantage of. And this is a really big thing that I didn't know until we were doing the whole research of this video. But in the UK, they're essentially going to ban the production of internal combustion engine cars in 2030. So by 2030, the only cars that will be allowed to be produced in the UK are electronic vehicles. But I'm not entirely sure if that ban is specifically on the production of electronic cars or the sale of electronic cars in the UK. Yeah, so the ban on the sale of new petrol and diesel motors was originally slated for 2030, but then this was pushed back to 2035, and then Labour ministers have now reinstated the initial date. So yeah, basically, at some point, there is going to be a ban on traditional petrol and diesel cars, and it will be electric only, but it seems like they're still figuring that out, but that's coming at some point in the future, in the UK specifically. But it doesn't necessarily prevent any car manufacturer from still selling, you know, traditional diesel and petrol power cars around the world. like in the USA, I know for sure that they're not going to ban, you know, anything but electric cars. Crazy thing is, we don't even know what this new Jaguar electronic car is going to look like. It seems like over the past few days since they released this initial marketing, they've been releasing like, you know, subtle teaser images of what this car's design is going to be. So I can show you that at the very least. Here's the first one. I'm assuming this is the back of the car. And when they keep saying copy nothing, what I'm expecting is something so unique, so different that it'll literally revolutionize the whole EV industry in terms of engineering from a visual perspective. So in this image as well, I am assuming this is the door handle. I'm not sure how that's going to turn out. And then this is the last thing. Yeah, I'm assuming that this is like going to be above the wheel, but still very vague, very abstract. We're going to have to wait until the show to be able to find out how this car actually looks. But there is a potential that it might actually look good. So for me, my own personal preference with everything, I like things new, I like things modern, I like things contemporary, you know, whether that's in movies, whether that's in furniture, whether that's in houses. Like my first real watch that I've ever really felt compelled to wear on a consistent basis is an Apple Watch, and I'm really happy about that. So for me, I like things fresh, like current. But I understand that there are a lot of people that like things older, they like classic style things, but I just generally can't relate to that. I can't watch a movie that was made in the year before 2005. I think I might even raise that at some point too. We are talking about a car manufacturer that's been around for 100 years. Jaguar has a significant legacy that I doubt will just go bankrupt and be eradicated from the car market. However, it is entirely possible. There are companies that have been around for a long time that have gone bust and disappeared just like that. So it's very, very possible. And they can always backtrack on certain aspects of their plans in the future. But at the same time, Jaguar might be a revolutionary addition to the EV car market. We're only talking about 18% of cars being sold being electronic vehicles in 2025. But when that reaches, you know, 75%, when that eventually reaches 100% at some point in the distant future, Jaguar could be one of the top players. And so everyone might potentially have to eat their words. People with classic Jaguar cars might see the value of those cars go up. But ultimately, we don't know what's going to happen, but we will find out soon enough, starting on December 2nd in Miami. And that's the bigger picture.